Hey Jack, how's it going? I heard you're working on a new business idea. What's it about?
Hey Emma. Yeah, I've been working on an online platform to sell organic products. The idea is to connect local farmers directly with customers, cutting out the middlemen and ensuring fresh, organic food at better prices.
That sounds interesting. So, it's like an e-commerce marketplace for organic food?
Exactly. But we're also focusing on sustainability and transparency. Each product will have details about where it was grown, who the farmer is, and the entire supply chain process.
That's a great concept. But how do you plan to attract customers? The organic food market is already competitive.
Marketing strategy. Good question. Our marketing strategy revolves around three key aspects: social media marketing, influencer partnerships, and content marketing.
Social media makes sense. But how exactly will you use influencers?
With food bloggers and health influencers who promote organic living. They'll showcase our products, share recipes, and create awareness about the benefits of organic food.
That's smart. What about content marketing?
We're building a blog and a YouTube channel to educate people about healthy eating, farming practices, and sustainability. This will not only drive traffic, but also position us as experts in the field. Sales and revenue model.
That's a solid strategy. But let's talk numbers. How do you plan to generate revenue?
We have a commission-based model. Farmers list their products on our platform, and we take a small percentage of each sale. Additionally, we'll introduce a subscription service where customers get weekly deliveries of organic groceries.
Subscription models are great for steady revenue. But what about pricing?
We'll ensure our prices are competitive. Since we eliminate middlemen, farmers can earn more while customers pay less than typical organic stores.
That's a win-win. But what about logistics? How do you handle deliveries?
We're partnering with local delivery services to manage logistics. Eventually, we plan to have our own fleet for better control over delivery times and costs. Financial planning and investment.
I see. Have you secured any funding, or are you bootstrapping?
Right now, we're bootstrapping, but we're planning to pitch to investors soon. We need funds for marketing, logistics, and technology development.
Investors will want to see strong financial projections. Have you prepared a business plan?
Yes, we've outlined our expected revenue, expenses, and growth projections for the next 3 years. Our goal is to break even within the first 18 months.
That's ambitious, but achievable with the right execution. Do you have any investors in mind?
We're targeting angel investors and venture capital firms that focus on sustainable businesses. Business growth and expansion.
Let's say everything goes well. What's your long-term vision?
First, we want to dominate the local market. Then, we'll expand to neighboring regions and eventually go international.
Expanding internationally can be complex. Have you considered potential challenges?
Definitely. Each market has different regulations, consumer preferences, and logistics challenges. We'll start with regions that have a strong demand for organic food and a supportive business environment.
That's a smart approach. Also, have you thought about brand partnerships?
Yes, we're looking to collaborate with eco-friendly packaging companies and sustainable agriculture organizations. Market analysis and competition.
One last thing, competition. How do you differentiate your business from others?
Our biggest advantage is transparency. Most organic brands don't disclose full supply chain details, but we do. Also, Our direct-to-consumer model ensures better pricing.
That's a strong value proposition, but how do you stay ahead if competitors copy your model?
Continuous innovation. We'll introduce AI-driven recommendations, personalized meal plans, and even a feature where customers can virtually visit farms. Final thoughts.
Honestly, Jack, I'm impressed. This has huge potential.
Thanks, Emma. I appreciate your insights. Let's catch up again once we secure funding.
Absolutely. Best of luck with your startup.
After starting the business,
Jack, I've been thinking about starting a business, but I'm not sure where to begin. Any ideas?
that's exciting, Emma. The first thing you need to do is figure out what kind of business you want to start. Do you have a specific industry in mind, or are you still exploring?
Well, I've always been passionate about fitness and wellness. Maybe something related to that. What do you think?
That sounds like a great idea. The wellness industry is growing fast, and people are becoming more health conscious. But the first step is to identify your target audience. Who are you hoping to reach with your business?
I think I'd focus on people who are looking to improve their overall health. Maybe provide online coaching or fitness products.
Great, that's a solid niche. Now, let's talk about your business plan. Have you thought about how you'll fund your business?
Honestly, I haven't figured that out yet. Do I need investors? Or can I start small?
It depends on the scale of your business. If you want to go big from the start, you might need investors. But if you want to test the waters, you could start with your own savings or a small loan. It's all about balancing risk and reward.
I see. So, once I have the funding, what's next?
Next, you'll need to create a product or service that meets a demand in your market. You'll need to do some market research. Have you looked at competitors in your field yet?
Not much yet. I think I need to look into that more deeply. What do you suggest?
Start by checking out your competitors' websites, social media, and customer reviews. Look for gaps in what they're offering. Maybe there's something you can do better or differently. That's how you find your unique selling proposition.
That makes sense. And what about marketing? I've heard that's super important.
Absolutely. Marketing is everything. You need to make sure people know about your product. In the beginning, I'd recommend starting with social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and even YouTube if you're comfortable with videos. Content marketing is very powerful.
I've heard of content marketing. So, I'd create posts, videos, and blogs to attract customers?
Exactly. But don't just post randomly. You need to have a strategy. Focus on educating your audience. For example, share fitness tips, healthy recipes, and motivational content. The goal is to build trust and position yourself as an expert in your field.
Got it. So, after I have the marketing in place, how do I actually make sales?
That's the tricky part. Once people trust you, you can start offering your products or services. Start with a limited time offer or discount to encourage people to buy. And always follow up with great customer service. Happy customers will become repeat buyers and refer others.
That makes sense. But what about pricing? How do I know if my prices are right?
Pricing can be a challenge. You want to be competitive, but also make sure you're covering your costs and making a profit. A good approach is to look at what competitors are charging and then adjust based on your target market's willingness to pay.
Okay, so I should research competitor prices before setting my own?
Yes, definitely. And don't forget to account for your expenses like product costs, marketing, shipping, and your time. All of that needs to be factored into your pricing.
That's a lot to think about. but I'm excited to get started.
It's a lot of work, but it's totally worth it if you're passionate about it. Just take it step by step. And remember, don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. You can always reach out to mentors or other business owners for advice.
Thanks, Jack. This has been really helpful. I'll start working on my business plan and market research.
No problem. I'm excited for you, Emma. I'm sure you'll do great.
Thanks, Jack. I feel a lot more confident now. But what about when it comes to managing the business? How do I keep everything organized?
That's a great question. Managing a business can be overwhelming, especially at the beginning. You'll need a good system in place to track finances, inventory, customer orders, and marketing efforts. Have you thought about using any tools or software?
I haven't really looked into that yet. Do you have any suggestions?
Definitely. For accounting and finances, software like QuickBooks or Xero is really popular. They help you keep track of expenses, income, taxes, and even payroll if you decide to hire employees. As for inventory, if you're selling physical products, something like Tridigeko or Zoho Inventory can be useful.
That sounds useful. What about keeping track of customer orders and communication?
For customer management, a customer relationship management (CRM) tool would be perfect. Something like HubSpot or Salesforce could help you manage leads, sales, and keep track of conversations with customers. It also allows you to send follow-up emails and automated newsletters.
I've heard of CRM systems before. It seems like a lot of work to set up, but it sounds necessary.
It is definitely a bit of work up front, but it pays off in the long run. The goal is to build strong relationships with your customers and offer them personalized service. The more organized you are, the easier it will be to scale your business.
That makes sense. What about managing employees? I don't know if I'll hire anyone right away, but it's good to know for the future.
When you hire, it's important to build a strong team. Start with clear roles and responsibilities. Use tools like Slack for communication and Trello or Asana for task management. Keep everything transparent so everyone knows what they need to do.
I've heard a lot about remote teams. Do you think that's something I could consider?
Absolutely. Remote teams are becoming more common, and they can be a great way to save costs, especially at the beginning. You can hire people with specific skills and expertise, no matter where they are located. Plus, it gives your employees more flexibility.
That would be great. But how do I ensure that everyone stays on track and gets their work done?
Good question. To keep remote teams effective, set clear goals and deadlines. Use collaboration tools like Google Drive, Dropbox, or Monday.com to share documents and keep track of progress. And don't forget to have regular check-ins, whether it's through video calls or weekly updates.
I see. And what about business growth? How do I take things to the next level once I've established myself?
Growth is exciting, but it can be tricky. The first step is to look at your current customers and ask for feedback. What do they like? What do they think could be improved? Use that information to refine your products and services. Then, consider expanding your offerings or entering new markets.
I like the idea of asking for feedback. But what if I want to expand into a new country or even internationally?
Expanding internationally is a big step, but it's possible if you do the right research. You'll need to understand the legal and tax requirements of each country you're targeting. It's also important to understand cultural differences and how your products or services will be received. I'd recommend starting small, maybe by shipping to 1 or 2 countries to test the waters.
That's a good point. I'll have to do a lot of research before taking that step.
Absolutely. And when you're ready to grow, look into options for funding. You can either reinvest profits, take out a loan, or seek investors. Just make sure that any external funding you take on aligns with your long-term vision for the business.
Loans and investors sound a bit intimidating. Is there a way to grow without taking on too much risk?
Yes, definitely. You can grow organically by reinvesting the profits your business is generating. Start by building a strong customer base and increasing sales through repeat customers and referrals. Then, as your cash flow grows, you can reinvest in marketing, new products, or expanding your team.
I think that's the safest option for me at the beginning. I want to make sure my business is stable before taking on outside funding.
That's a smart approach. Another way to grow without much risk is through partnerships. Look for businesses that complement yours and explore opportunities to collaborate. This way, you can reach new audiences without having to go it alone.
I've never really thought about partnerships. What would that look like?
A partnership could be anything from cross-promotions, where you and another business share each other's products, to joint ventures, where you work together to create something new. The key is finding a partner who has a similar customer base but isn't a direct competitor.
That sounds like a great idea. I could partner with local gyms or fitness influencers to help grow my business.
Exactly. And remember, as your business grows, you'll want to keep an eye on the financial side. Regularly review your profit margins and make sure you're pricing your products appropriately. The key is always balancing costs and revenue.
I'll definitely be mindful of that. It's all about keeping a good balance, right?
Exactly. One last thing. Never stop learning. Keep yourself updated on industry trends and continuously improve your products and services. Attend conferences, read books, or take courses on entrepreneurship. It's an ongoing journey.
Thanks, Jack. You've given me so much to think about. I feel a lot more confident now about starting my business.
I'm glad I could help. I have no doubt you'll do great. Just remember, take it one step at a time, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.